everyone, welcome to Board Takes. I'm Charlie Van.
And I am Rayya, sitting in the corner of this beautiful, beautiful establishment. Here we are at the Alamo Club here on Greenville Avenue. This is my first time here, and I just can't stop looking around. The exposed brick on the wall, the twinkly lights on the ceiling, the overly nice bartenders when I walk through the door. I was greeted with a shot, like legitimately
As one should be.
with a shot. This is turning out to be one of the better days out here in these streets, especially for a Monday night. Charlie Van, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, yes. This is one of my favorite places in the area. First of all, they make a really good old-fashioned here. So if you like old-fashions like I do, definitely check out their house cocktails here. They do trivia on Wednesday nights. And they have a killer brunch. Their Benedict is so good, and all their food here. And like you said, the staff is wonderful. So come on by right here on Lower Greenville, Alamo Club. And we're going all Olympics.
Yes, we are. On the heels of the most beautiful opening ceremony I've ever seen this past Friday. The Olympics so far, what has it only been 3 days, have been phenomenal from top to bottom. Having such a great time watching that. But before we get into all the Olympic chatter, what are we drinking today? I believe someone told me these drafts are only $5.
Yes, $5 drafts, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're keeping it in Texas. Blood and Honey, Revolver. So
yes, absolutely. Cheers, man, to a great opening weekend of the Olympics, to a great pay-per-view fight.
Yeah, cheers to our producer Tanner.
We have so much to talk about.
And I see you went a hodgepodge of Olympic apparel, like soccer.
Not necessarily. So the goal was to go soccer, and then our lovely
drink.
bartender.
That was a pun.
Ha. Okay, and then our lovely bartender pointed out that I am wearing volleyball shorts and basketball shoes right now as well. So I am just on the entire spectrum of all Olympic sports at this moment. You be careful, I might whip out a bow and arrow.
There you go. Well, I am a Wish track star. Makeshift.
We have a track star at home.
If you can read my my marker, as they call it, says episode 36.
Did you bring a baton with you?
No, I should.
Or what is it called? What's the stick called? Is it called a baton?
It's a baton.
Okay,
yeah,
just checking.
pass the baton. You know, instead we pass shots on here.
Speaking of which, I mean, I feel like we should just like dive in.
Yeah, because 2 weeks ago we were very wrong with our home run derby picks.
Oh, I completely blocked that out from my memory.
Yeah. Well, apparently not, because here I didn't. So I always let you know our downfalls.
I'm over here just trying to celebrate, Charlie. You didn't have to bring up old nonsense.
Oh, well, you know what? The bet was
we each picked a guy in the home run derby, and our guy didn't win.
Yeah, you picked Adolis.
Yes, I did.
I was Gunnar Henderson.
Oh,
our friend Danny, though, he did get his guy to the end, Bobby Witt Jr. So we'll let you off the hook, Danny.
Or you could just come by and visit us in a couple weeks when we're getting ready for playoff baseball, because it'll be here before you know it.
I know. It's right around the corner. We also got all the other stuff, football. But yes, so let's just go ahead and take the shot.
And before we take it, what the heck is this again, guys?
This is the Snackery.
Snackery?
Heck
Ooh.
yeah, it's like a daiquiri shot. Yep, quite tasty.
Is it just me, or was that really like orangey?
So there's pineapple in it. There's, I believe, there's bitters. Yeah, what? Lime.
Okay.
Lime. Yeah, definitely it's got a nice citrus.
Yeah, it's very refreshing on these hot summer days. This is a great shot.
Well, I was going to say it's definitely a summer shot to take. So maybe it's more of a sweet victory for us. Like you said, we'll put the loss in the past because, man, these Olympics so far in the ceremony have been awesome.
So let's talk about this opening ceremony to begin with. So this was the first of its kind. Instead of having a stadium with a stage, why not have the city of Paris be the stage? How incredible was that storytelling as they're going down the Seine River and all the different components that went into it? You know, you had Lady Gaga performing on the side of the river. You had the heavy metal.
I was gonna say that was my favorite.
That was
cool
also my favorite part. And then the blood being
opera.
shed from the building, that was really fucking cool too. And then, of course, to wrap it up, Celine Dion on the Eiffel Tower, bringing us all to tears. I told my fiance, we were watching it together, and before it even started, I said, if Celine Dion is singing today, I will cry, and I'm not a crier. And best believe, I was a puddle.
Well, I think also just, what she's been battling lately, the neurology, and to see her come back and to be able to have that powerful moment despite all the personal health issues. And, I mean, what a singer of our generation, and you had to have her. You couldn't have Paris without Celine Dion.
No, like that whole opening ceremony.
Well, okay, French-Canadian, though.
She still sings in French. Yes. En français. Okay.
I mean, but as far as who's international, who's global, like, you had to, like, I think, to see her up there, especially what she's been battling, and to do that, yeah, like you said, it was a very emotional moment. I loved Peyton Manning.
You would. I'm
commentating.
I'm listening to the commentary, and I'm like, oh my God, Charlie and I are Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson. That is exactly who we are. That is the duo I didn't know I needed, and now I will forever need them.
Did you see where he has his little quarterback kind of wristband playbook?
Where's yours at?
I know.
With all the sports on it?
I know, but I'm always running.
Always. You really are.
Usually running on time.
You know what? I'm a girl. I get 15 extra minutes. Okay.
I just love the concept of the boats, like introducing each country via boat. Like that was, despite all the rain, it was really cool.
Honestly, I think the rain added like another cool element to it. Like you're in this beautiful city, and the rain just brings in like more drama and more beauty. Honestly, it felt like I was watching like an old romantical movie that was set in Paris. Like, I just thought the whole thing was beautiful. Rain or shine, 12 out of 10. I think this is the best opening ceremony I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, the way they did it was so cinematic. They broke it into different sequences and parts. Even the video, like the little short films in between. Yeah, the package, or vignettes. And then you got the parkour guy jumping from building to building. I think, like, we needed this. Unfortunately, 2020 happened. Tokyo was pushed back. Couldn't have nearly the kind of opening or closing celebration that you would have, especially no fans. Yeah. And so this was huge, like you said, getting the whole city involved. It was electric. I was watching it, and I was like, man, I think this is one of the best ones we've seen.
Okay, Tanner, Charlie, book those flights for this fall. We are going to Paris for funsies.
I've never been. I've been to Germany, Austria. I've never been to Paris.
Oh my gosh, Paris is a whole experience. Paris, and I have like a very special connection. I took French for 7 years in middle school and high school. My school that I went to was half French. Yeah. So my French teachers were all from France. Specifically, the one that I love the most is from Paris. And basically, by the time I graduated high school, I was fluent in French enough that I went myself to Paris and like completely just melted in and loved it there. And then I actually got to go back, I think it was 2 summers ago. I went back by myself. It was a solo trip, a little self-discovery action, as we do nowadays. And it just feels like home. There's so much to do, so much to see. The people, as long as you are willing to connect with them on their level, are really outgoing. For the most part, they hate Americans, and I kind of love them for that. But, being able to speak a little bit of French really went a long way there. And I like just watching all this stuff back, the opening ceremony just made me so emotional, and like in a good way, like a really, really good way. And I'm really excited that all these athletes get to experience it. And also, I told you in advance, the boat parade, genius. Yeah. Great idea for the Parade of Nations.
Yeah, no, I thought that was probably the most creative thing I've ever seen when it comes to, whether summer or winter. The way they pulled that off, despite some weather challenges. Although I think it was my dad said, a couple people might have got a little sick just because of the rain. It was bound to happen. It's like 65 at night there, so it's been beautiful weather minus some of the rain.
Actually, now there's a heat wave in Paris. Can you believe it?
There we go.
There's a lot of concerns right now. So then the Olympic Village doesn't have air conditioning. It was a go green effort by the city of Paris to not put AC units in the Olympic Village. So there's alternative cooling systems, but guys, as Texans, we are not going to function anywhere without AC, believe me.
Well, the wrestlers and boxers are about to make weight, definitely, with sweating that off. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was anticipating, because I've heard it can get pretty hot there in the summers. I'm sure the marathon runners and track and field are like, oh, great, where's our 65 degrees? But overall, from what I've seen from it, very beautiful. Obviously, the surfing is in Tahiti, so that was really cool.
Yes, we were talking about that on our way in. So let's just jump into this. What are some of like the best or cool moments you've seen so far in the first 3 days of this wonderful Olympiad?
I know there's been a lot to digest in a short amount of time. I'm going to go with Saturday with the men's relay swimming. Just Caleb Dressel's on such a different level, and the commentators are like, you're not going to be able to catch him. That was a great moment.
Oh no, he had a hell of a lead, and everyone says that he is just different since he's had a baby.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah.
Fatherhood does things. I mean, we said the same thing about Dak and the Cowboys. Yeah. Dak had his baby girl. Luka had his baby girl. Like, you know, being a father, I guess, brings more out of you. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Just that extra motivation. I'm sure that it's just an extra fuel. And then yesterday, I would say, with Husky and Gretchen Smith out there just crushing it. Husky winning in the 100, I believe it's 100 midlay or 100. 100 fly. Sorry, 100
yes,
fly.
It was 100 fly.
And then Gretchen taking second. Just that moment together. But I mean, martial arts has been great. Judo has been great.
I've watched some boxing.
Yeah.
I think for me, I watched the women's skateboarding, street skateboarding or whatever it was. First of all those ladies are like literally 14 years old.
Yeah.
So shout out to them for making it to the biggest possible stage in their sport and actually putting on a damn good show. I really enjoyed it. So, like, the way it works, and they did this in Tokyo, too, but I felt like Tokyo was a little faulty with the way the course was built. So you can definitely see that they've made great improvements in that area. But you get 2 runs through the course to do whatever you want, and then you get 5 shots to show your best trick.
Yeah.
And these girls went balls to the wall. That was so exciting for me to watch. And I think the other thing that I hear a lot of people are getting invested in, especially my girls group chat, is surfing.
Yeah.
You mentioned it earlier, surfing taking place in Tahiti. Those waves are insane, 1. And 2, it's just so interesting to watch. I was watching the men's final this morning. Those waves, literally like 2.5 meters tall. And for those of you who don't know, meters about 3 feet.
It's a big wave.
So those are some really big waves, and the rescue teams were working today. So I'm gonna definitely keep my eye on surfing moving forward. Also, in terms of like obscure sports, I watched a little bit of badminton. I've watched singles and doubles. There was a really impressive rally. I want to say it was between U.S. and China yesterday. And, you know, that was pretty wild. How do you even see the little birdie go back and forth? I don't know.
Sleight of hand.
Shuttlecock. That's what it's called. It's called a shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock.
Are you guys going to make me drink for that one?
Shuttlecock. Interesting. You learn new things.
Yeah, that's actually the technical term for the thing is a shuttlecock.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody's brought it. Cycling, I watched cycling on Saturday. I mean, man, they had to be really careful because how slick the roads were.
Oh, the mountain bikers. Yeah. The girl, the USA girl got silver.
That's good.
Yeah, that was really fun to watch, too. I had so much anxiety. Yes, Tanner. This morning in gymnastics.
Oh, wow, yes.
Yes,
awesome.
Our U.S. men's for the
Congrats
team. Bronze medal.
To the U.S. men's team there.
Okay, I have a funny note about this. So I actually watched that live. Thank you for reminding me. So I watched the final live, but I didn't watch it with sound because I was working. And so I was kind of paying attention, kind of not paying attention. But when it was all over, you saw Japan getting super excited. U.S. is literally on the stage dancing.
Yeah.
And China's got like sad faces. So I had thought that the U.S. beat China based on how they were acting. Yeah. But China was mad that they got silver.
I mean, the competitiveness, though, for the team over there in China, just the history. So, but, I mean, I'm happy for the men's team. Like you said, ending that drought is awesome. You know, Simone Biles doing her thing last night.
Yeah, with an injury, by the way. Still
calf
able to put up numbers. Right? Calf injury, but putting up numbers, looking effortless on the vault as she does. So excited to see how the all-around and the individual competitions shake out in these coming weeks. And the other thing I was going to say, the girls from diving, the
I was going to say synchronized.
Synchronized divers. Synchronized diving gives me so much anxiety, especially, I can't tell. Is springboard synchronization harder than platform synchronization? Because they both make me very nervous.
Well, I'll dive into this. I asked somebody the other day watching that, because it is synchronized and you obviously have to be in sync. Do you have your partner? Does they have to be the same length and height of you? Because
I think so. I think you have to have matching body types. I mean, you hear them; they're literally counting down. They're like 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, you can't be off. You're only good as your partner.
What's fun is when you hear it in all the languages. The 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
So there we go again.
1, 2, 3, go.
Does it always go?
I don't know.
I mean, whatever you're off.
Vamos.
You're
on
delay. Just dive.
Woo!
No, that was cool to see. A cool moment there. I mean, like you said, boxing. How about women's soccer dominating yesterday?
She's not at the Olympics, but I am Alex Morgan today.
Over Germany. Yeah.
Sophia Smith.
Yeah.
Better than advertised.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mallory Swanson. Better than advertised. I watched the game against Germany, and I said to my friends, I said, you know what? This team is better than previous teams. U.S. women's soccer in absolute great hands, and I can't wait to see how far they go, not just in the Olympics, but in other tournaments moving forward at that national and international level, because, like, they're fun. They're so fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I mean, the intensity that they bring, how quick. I mean,
I was going to say the speed.
Answered back every time almost. There was only maybe a few missed shots on goals. You're like, okay, but they answered right back. I mean, just dominant. Now, a lot of injuries out there. Like,
Did you happen to catch the Zambia-Australia game?
I did not.
So Zambia broke out to a 4 or 5 point or 5 goal lead, and Australia came back and beat them.
Wow.
And so that score, I think it was like 7-5 or 7-6, something ridiculous. But that was interesting. I watched just the highlights, but you could just see the Zambian women just absolutely fall apart.
I feel like Australia is coming for everybody.
Australia had a great World Cup, and they can't wait to do more. And I'm just happy in terms of any sport across the board, but the fact that women's sports in these Olympics gets so much of a bigger spotlight is so exciting. Speaking of women's sports, women's rugby.
Oh, they are intense.
Jason Kelsey's new girls. I am loving this. Did you see the videos with Jason Kelsey in his beret? So Jason Kelsey went to the 2 USA rugby matches. I think they were yesterday. And he's in the audience with Kylie, and he's wearing a beret.
That's funny. Of course he is.
Then he goes to chill with the team afterwards. He does arm wrestling matches with the girls. And then Alona Mayer, an absolute fucking beast. She's going to be on SportsCenter Top 10 for stiff-arming that woman. Not the word I want to use, but stiff-arming that girl and taking it in for a score. She's the one that's super famous on TikTok.
No, I've seen her. I've seen the videos. I'm terrified of her.
She looks so fun. I want to be best friends with her.
We may need to bring her on the Dallas Cowboys. We need some. We'll get it.
Snoop Dogg's commentary. So
it's gold.
They bring Snoop Dogg on during the primetime show to have his moment. And they were talking about men's rugby. They were talking about the men's rugby final game. And there was this one guy, I think he was from Fiji, I want to say, who absolutely... No, it was from France, not Fiji. France steamrolled some people, and he goes, I need that guy at running back.
Yeah, for the Steelers?
I don't remember what the team was, but I just busted out laughing. I love seeing Snoop Dogg commentate on sports.
I mean, what we learned from season 1 of the Contender Series, it's hilarious, it's entertaining. I mean, he is everywhere. Love seeing those support. Women's gymnastics yesterday, so we need him and Peyton need to be on the same commentary team.
I don't know. I think Snoop just needs his own show on ESPN at this point.
Yeah, instead of the torch, it's a blunt. I saw a meme of that. I'm like, yeah, that's how they should have lit. By the way, we didn't mention the cauldron, the balloon, the hot air balloon, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan?
Oh, we can argue about this one.
We're gonna blow some hot air over here. Right.
The Olympic cauldron is the centerpiece of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Drink. I now heard it. I heard what you said. The Olympic cauldron is the centerpiece of the Olympics. You drive through any city that's hosted the games, and you get to see it for the rest of the time. I've seen the one in Athens. I've seen the one in Vancouver. I've seen the one in Atlanta. Turin, Italy. Like, I've been to so many. This was a wash. Honestly, given how great the ceremony was, why was the balloon just a big silver UFO? It looked like a weather balloon. It is Paris. I wanted to see sparkles and pizzazz. There was a fashion show in the opening ceremony, for Christ's sake. Why was this balloon so boring?
It's historic.
I get the historical significance.
It's taking flight.
But it was like a tin ball in the sky.
I've seen...
Anna Wintour was not impressed.
I thought it was fine. It's unique. I'll say that. I will
You
say
said
that.
exactly what everyone is saying. It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular.
I mean,
it was fine.
Have I been blown away by most of the things that I've seen in the last several Olympics? No, I'm not.
The Tokyo one. The Tokyo
okay.
one was like a flower with individual, like a bouquet of flowers, and each flower had its own flame, and then it comes together to be the cauldron. That shit's cool. A hot air balloon.
I give it a 7.
That floats and looks like it's measuring the barometer of the pressure outside sucks.
It's just, the way it's raining and the weather. It's all significant. Hey, well, at least Tony Parker got to be part of that.
Tony Parker looks like an 80-year-old man when he runs.
Sorry, Tony Parker. But you're doing good things for France there. Open up your own basketball academy. But I do think they missed it with Snoop Dogg not being able to light it with a blunt.
I have to send you the Olympic pin I found online, and Snoop Dogg's blowing smoke rings and then the Olympic rings.
That is funny. See, these are things, they have them there. That, I will say, is a missed opportunity. We'll see how they get it down. Is it just going to, blow dart it down? Like, how are they going to get the cauldron
It's probably
down?
attached to a tether or some sort of cable. They just wheel it back
That
in.
was my thing. Like, the way that they hoist it up, hoist it back down, hoist it up.
So there's a hot air balloon like that at Disney World. If you go to Disney Springs, it's like the main centerpiece there. And it's decorated better than the Olympic cauldron, by the way. And you pay some money and you go sit in it, and they make you go up and they bring you back down. And they make you go up and they bring you back down. It's not that impressive.
I just got nauseous while you say that.
So after these 3 days, we're starting to get a feel. We know things are on the schedule coming up. What are you most looking forward to seeing in this games that you haven't seen yet?
Wrestling, I always love, supporting that sport, because there was a time where there was question if they were going to keep it, which is bonkers because it's the original Olympic sport. It's several countries' national sport. It's free for most people to do outside of the club circuit. Breakdancing, let's get it.
I'm so stoked for a break.
I cannot wait. It's a trial run. We'll see how it goes. I mean, but they used to have ballroom dancing back in the day.
Wait, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, think about how athletic you got to pick people up. I mean,
No, I know. The greatest warriors of all time were also great dancers because it all went hand in hand. I'm aware.
Yeah, Bruce Lee was cha-cha.
Maybe I have a fantasy about ballroom dancing with Alexander the Great, but that's neither here nor there. Or Constantine.
Yeah, there we go. I would say wrestling, breakdancing, and of course, I always love anything running, track and field, marathon. So, and I'm excited to see Sha'Carri Richardson get her chance.
Absolutely.
Dallas native. So, Gabby Thomas, too, who had a great Tokyo run. So, okay, I got a drink because I didn't even plan that one. That just came out.
He can't help himself.
But I love track and field, so. Who's the guy with the...
That was funny. You should drink for that one.
And I'm sorry I should have researched this. Who's the guy that has, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon card?
Oh, Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's He's already claiming to be the fastest man in the world, so let's see if he puts his money where his mouth is.
Everyone outside of Usain Bolt every time. Michael Johnson too.
Hey, records are meant to be broken.
It's true.
So I'm curious. 100 meter, 200 meter dash are my absolute favorites. I love watching hurdles as well.
Yeah.
Pole vaulting.
Pole vaulting's great.
Love me some pole vaulting.
Shot put.
Javelin throwing. Yeah, track and field is special for sure, and every year or every time the USA puts out a great team. For me, I have like a weird sweet spot for synchronized swimming. It creeps me out but excites me simultaneously, and I don't know what that says about me.
Best synchronized swimming movie clip, Austin Powers. Heck yeah. Whenever I think about that. Yeah, baby.
Drink. Just
yes. Well, it is in my club.
I mean, it is.
It's because yesterday I was talking to a friend. We were talking about Austin Powers and that. Like, would there be another one? Anyways, I digress.
So, yeah, digress away over there. So, synchronized swimming, I'm pretty stoked for. I'm curious to see how the men's side of basketball shakes out. I feel like the women pretty much have it on lock. They played today against Japan and did a really great job.
Yeah.
Not surprised. They posted the starting lineup on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't want to bother any of those women. No. Thank you. Do your thing. So, yeah, men's basketball, lots of questions. Did you hear the controversy about Jason Tatum?
What this time?
So, Team USA played against Serbia yesterday.
Yeah.
And Jason Tatum's playing time was super limited. And in the press conference, Steve Kerr said, I guess I should have played him more. And so now it's like a meme of Jason Tatum's on the bench and doing nothing. And I can send you the memes.
No. I've seen the meme.
So, you know, as Team USA, and it was not a close game against Serbia. They did their job. As Coach Steve Kerr, how do you move forward after saying, well, I guess? Like, what does that even mean?
No harsh feelings, you know, Warriors Celtics background. I mean, you made a mistake, you know, lineup changes. We're used to that here in Dallas sometimes.
Sometimes.
You know, coaches make that, but it's one moment. They'll adjust, and it is pivotal having him in the mix, and especially now coming off of winning a world title. So I think they'll mix it up. I love Kerr. I trust him. It was one time. But I did like maybe I'm misquoting the meme, but I just saw this today. It's like girls want a guy that doesn't play games, and they show a picture.
That's the meme.
And he's just pouting, but he is pouting. He's
upset. He's like, I came all the way to Paris to sit on a bench? What?
Hey, but you know what? You get a free ride to Paris, and you have an NBA world title.
Yeah, sit down. Just sit down, Jason Tatum. Am I forgetting anything? Anything else that I want to mention about these beautiful, awesome Olympics?
Man, I just can't. Like, all the sports are almost wrapping up. Like, this first week is just crazy. Still some more swimming to go. Still got more gymnastics. My question, do you think this is it for Simone Biles, no matter what happens?
She has no reason to compete any further. Athletes are just getting younger. I believe there's a competitor on the Team USA who's 14 or 16? 16, okay.
Yeah.
You know, make way for the next generation. Thank you for your services. Also, great story, Suni Lee coming back from being hospitalized.
Yeah, really bad.
And is now a contender for the all-around medal. So, you know, there's so much talent on this team, but they've all done 2-3 Olympics. Time to move on. And that's the beauty of being Team USA is we have so much talent in this country.
Well, and you know, already what she's doing at 27. I mean, I remember the last one to be the oldest was, I forget her name, but from UCLA. She was like 24.
Was it Allie Raisman?
No. This was
because she was older in the last
Olympics,
too. This was
like Athens. Well, Allie was up there too. I think Allie and Simone. So the fact that she's still able to compete at this level, but then you start seeing the wear and tear, and it's already with the cast. But I think she'll hold
you look
court.
at us. We're in our 30s.
Yeah.
And our bodies are wrecked from MMA at this point. Like, could you imagine gymnastics?
I think you wake up 30 and above and doesn't you get your groceries out. I hurt my back taking out the trash. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing what they're doing there on those floor routines. But she's so poised. She's so confident. You can tell she's having fun. The last one did not turn out emotionally, mentally the way she wanted, but she looks back.
Yeah, this is her redemption, and she's going to get it. And then she's going to ride off to the sunset and cheer for her beautiful husband, Jonathan Owens, from the sideline as long as he's still in the NFL.
Yeah, and not playing the Cowboys. Dash breaking our hearts.
Well, I mean, he's like, what, a second or third string player? His career is not lasting. No offense.
It's a team sport. Moral sport. But no, yeah, I think it's over after. It's fine. And what a legacy.
Absolutely. So I heard through the grapevine that one of our spots, Sandy Pickle, has an event coming up. Charlie, you want to talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah, August 10th in the Village. If you have not been to Sandy Pickle, it's sand volleyball and pickleball. Opened up last October. They are going to host first Beer Olympics. Obviously, with everything going on in the Olympics, they decided to jump on in there. And so if you've never seen a Beer Olympics or been part of one, it's a lot of fun. I'm interested to see, though, at a venue, a public venue.
Competing?
No, we are going to be, I mean, we could, hopefully, we are going to be at least commentating. We're going to be partaking. We're going to give our best knowledge.
That's exciting.
Of these games. So I know beer pong's like one of them, the main, which is great. That's the one I'm excited for. Some of the other ones I feel like get really extreme.
What are the other events? Because I feel like Flip Cup and beer pong are all I know.
Yeah, those are the two ongoing. Then it gets this is why I'm interested. I've never seen outside of fraternity houses, and so I'm interested to see the creativity, how they could do it in the middle. But that place is a lot of fun. Does
it cost to watch? How does ticketing work?
Yeah, so let me look that up. Yeah, it is August 10th. Let me just double check. Sorry.
I believe it's August 10th, 12 to 4.
Yeah, 11 to 4. August 10th over in the Village. Let me just look this up real quick.
And they'll have the Olympics on, obviously. Like Charlie said, we're going to be around. Maybe one of us is going to do a keg stand. Maybe one of us is going to do a beer funnel.
You're doing the keg stand.
You take your bets on who's doing what. Why does it always have to be me?
So let's see. Do you got to get tickets?
But I'm assuming
you do got to get tickets though.
Do they have the teams already set, or are they still taking entrances?
Yeah, so you can get. I don't know yet. So check out Sandy Pickle. Sandy Pickle's Facebook, social media.
Instagram. I was going to say Instagram is probably the best way to get them.
It is a paid event, though. You can get through Eventbrite. So go to Sandy Pickle. Either go to the Instagram or go to the Facebook page. If you want to sign up, sign up. If you want to get tickets and be a spectator. But hopefully we will be there. We will be at least, providing some narrative or narration.
Narration.
Yeah.
Why are you drunker than me?
So there we go.
Sounds good to me. I'm looking forward to it. Love the opportunity to be in the community and make fun of people drinking beer. That is my specialty. I do it with Charlie pretty much every weekend. So I'm glad I'm going to get to do it on a larger stage. Anyhow, moving on from the Olympics, UFC 304 took place this past Saturday in Manchester, England, where Leon Edwards lost his belt to the Pride of Palestine, Bilal Muhammad, in a crazy, crazy fight. This whole fight itself was crazy, starting with the fact that they had to fight at, 2 in the morning?
Oh, I know. Actually, it was by almost 5 a.m.
5 a.m. See, I'm way off.
Yeah, it's almost 5 a.m. When it wrapped up, which is crazy. The last time I believe they had a fight card like this was Ronda and Holly Holm in Australia.
And that's when Ronda got knocked out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's got to be interesting with the sleep schedule and the body to be able to do that.
Well, you think about someone like Bilal versus Leon. So Leon lives in England, right? So he already is acclimated to the time zone, but he has to shift his circadian rhythm to match what the UFC wants.
It's a nice fancy word, scientific.
Thank you. I did study science in school. Then you got Bilal, who lives in Chicago, I believe. Lives and trains in Chicago. Flying out to Manchester, looking at a 6-7 hour time difference. But then adjusting to what Dana wants it to be so that in the U.S. we're seeing it at our normal time. Honestly, I felt bad for the fans.
Yeah.
I felt bad for the fighters. This was an awful idea. I would have so rather been day drunk watching this fight. However, I understand the Olympics are on at the same time, and they probably don't want to compete with that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some video earlier today, just recap of the event, and there's people passed out during the post-fight speeches with Bilal and Leon. They're just like sleeping. I was like, yeah, I mean, it's 5 a.m. It's crazy. But I will say, first off, congrats to Bilal Muhammad.
Absolutely. Great showing. Great takedown game. I was lit. I was so excited.
Yeah, no, I mean, exactly what Usman should have done in that third fight, did most of that second fight in the first. I think that wrestling prowess of Bilal, it's second to none. It really is. And he's gotten better and better since even the last time that they fought, which unfortunately ended in an eye injury. But Bilal had earned this. He's earned this title, and he did it his way.
Absolutely. And he waited a long time for this moment.
Yeah.
So mad kudos to him for the patience and the execution. Like, I feel like it's so hard to go into enemy territory and pick up a win to beat the champion, especially when it goes into decision, because when it goes to decision, normally it's not in the challenger's favor. But I think you and I were talking the whole night. I do think Bilal did enough damage on Leon, even though Leon cut him open in that fifth round. I think Bilal had more control in that fight. And does this open up a door for a third match, or are you wanting to see Bilal fight maybe a Shavkat?
Yeah, Shavkat should be next.
Okay.
Especially from the wrestling. No, and even Dana said they're going to let Leon rest. There's nothing Leon did definitive enough to like, okay, we need to run it back. There was nothing controversial about it. We need more. We need to get this division moving. And none of these rematches. Let's see Shavkat. That's a beast.
Absolutely. I love Shavkat. I'm a huge fan.
And if Bilal is able to do what nobody else has been able to do, you know you're not going to be able to knock him out.
Nope.
But you got to go wrestling for wrestling. Bilal's got really good wrestling, really good, all-around grappling. And he does train a lot, too. He's trained with Habib as well. So he just keeps getting better. And now he's got that champion experience. Now he's the champ. But it's always it's easier to win than to defend. And there's a boogeyman in Shavkat.
Yep, and we've been waiting for Shavkat to fight again. So I'm very curious to see if that's the next call-up. Who else in the 170 division could you see as a contender for this belt now?
Well, I think automatically he still can be contender as Usman. I mean,
I thought the same thing. I said I think I'd rather see Usman fight for the belt against Bilal before Shavkat.
Yeah, I mean, well,
and it's only because Usman was the champ for so long.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think they don't always give everybody automatic like rematches, but Usman he's also went up and fought Hazmat. Like, he's just such a game fighter, and I think Bilal versus Usman is stylistically is very interesting.
Absolutely.
I would give the striking edge still to Usman, but I mean, Bilal's boxing, the way he uses it to set up his takedowns, and that's going to be interesting. And now he's going to have champ confidence.
And you got to remember, Usman's also a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah.
He really worked on his boxing to keep his belt as long as he did. So I think it's just kind of written in the stars for Usman to have that potential comeback moment against Bilal. I can't help it. He's my favorite.
Yeah, we'll see what Usman wants to do. We haven't really – I mean, he's been doing his podcast with Henry Cejudo. He's kind of been waiting in the wings.
As he should.
Yeah, I mean –
no rush. You held the belt for so long.
Outside of GSP, he's been the longest reigning welterweight. Talks about that, how challenging that division is.
Yeah.
But no, I think Usman Bilal. How about the co-main event? Tom Aspinall stopping Curtis Blaze. Now, some thought it was a little short, early. It didn't matter. He was about to finish it. I mean, it's that Aspinall's so fast.
Absolutely, and I think Aspinall made a case for himself that it should be him at MSG in November and not anybody else. What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's the interim champion. I mean, so, and now, you know, defending. I saw people like.
Yeah, we know he's interim champion, but he knocked him out in the first round.
No, but that
was
my point.
Statement.
Interim means is really your #1 contender belt. The last person to defend an interim title was Renan Barão in like 2013 or whatever. That's when Cruz was out with his knee, but. He deserves John Jones. That's the fight I want to see. That's the fight that should happen.
That was going to be my follow-up question is, you know, we've been waiting for John Jones and Stipe Miocic forever. Yeah. But now I just feel like it's not fair. Like, Aspinall's active.
Yeah.
He's not waiting in the wings. He's winning in a dominant fashion. Give him the shot.
Well, also because, and I love Stipe. I've always been a big Stipe fan. But, I mean, he's been out since 2021. I don't know. I mean, you can never doubt his power, his boxing. But you're going to see that same old Stipe compared to a young 31-year-old Tom Aspinall who's so fast. And, look, John is the GOAT for sure. But there's going to be a question mark coming in at 37. Torn. And still, this is heavyweight. And Tom Aspinall is just a different level.
And we don't know where John's legal troubles are going to take him either.
That's true.
So... if it's not John Jones, if for whatever reason John Jones looks at Tom Aspinall and is like, you know what, I'm not willing to bet my legacy, or you know what, I have to do jail time, whatever it is, are you okay with Tom Aspinall facing Alex Pereira for the heavyweight belt in November?
I mean, that would be the wild card pick if you want to sell that card, because I don't think you can do Aspinall versus Cyril Gane and people would care. You need Tom to really see Tom against, okay, he went up against the wrestler, beat the wrestler, Curtis Blades. Now you're going to probably arguably the best striker in all of mixed martial arts in Alex Pereira, and who walks around 230, who's fast himself. So, yeah, no, I'm down for that. I know Pereira, and he wants to be 3-time champ.
We've talked about this before. We've talked about this before with Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is kind of feeding off the same vibes that Conor McGregor was.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor rose to fame because he took any fight that came his way. Short notice fights that he probably shouldn't take, he took those and he won. And I feel like Alex Pereira is just down for whatever you throw at him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and his confidence does obviously come from his striking prowess. Like anybody who dares to really stand a long time in the striking is it's gonna be troublesome. But Tom is so fast and he's got that heavyweight power, so that's gonna be interesting.
So on the heels of that, they announced the Sphere matchups.
Yeah.
How excited are we for UFC 306?
I don't know. Is it 305 or 306?
305 is in Australia.
Well, but that's the thing.
Then it's 307.
They haven't even.
No, they did. Adesanya is 305.
Okay. See, I didn't get to see the what they just called. Okay,
yeah,
so no, it's 306.
306.
Yeah,
okay.
306.
So 306, we're gonna have Sean O'Malley and Merab Dvalishvili. There we go.
Aljamain's good friend.
Yes, Aljamain's bestie.
I love his skits though. His little funny skits that he does, Merab.
Merab's hilarious. I have friends that are like, Merab's the cutest guy on the planet, and I'm like, ew, why? And they're like, because he's funny.
He is a good wrestler, though. I mean, nobody's been able to ragdoll Henry Cejudo like that, Olympic gold medalist. And this is the interesting striker versus grappler matchup.
And also announced that that card was Grasso Shevchenko 3, which all of you know is my bread and butter, and I am so excited to see my girl back in action. And by my girl, I mean Valentina Shevchenko, coming off coaching this past season of Ultimate Fighter.
Which has been a heck of a season, great season. Both have done a really good job coaching, so we'll get to see them finally square off again. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Valentina's coming for it. But also rescheduled Brian Ortega and Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
So I'm excited from the grappling exchange in that. So.
Yeah, I already looked at this card top to bottom, and it's shaping out to be probably better than all their cards this year.
It's got to for how much money they're going to be putting into it.
Well, it's the Sphere. Who doesn't want to fight at the Sphere? I feel like they have a line of fighters who are ready to just throw themselves in the fire. I know I would.
Will they have you two in the background, like, performing?
No, it's the animal show with the tigers.
Oh, I know. It's just lions. Everyone wants the lion.
Absolutely.
You know what? That would be kind of cool for walkouts. They put, like, what kind of like animal or some presentation do you want?
Okay, look. We look at boxing walkouts. We look at WWE walkouts.
Yeah.
UFC is kind of like failing in that department.
Well, Dana doesn't want it.
Well, I'm saying outside of Adesanya doing his bits.
Yeah.
But in this sphere, I need iconic magical moments. You're in the sphere.
No, I mean, they need to go. If it's going to be, it sounds like it's going to be probably a one and done. If so, go all out. Go
Absolutely.
All out.
That is exactly what I'm thinking. And speaking of big MMA moments, this Friday, Fury FC will be at Gillies Dallas in the Cedars. We've got about 5 guys from Fortis MMA on the card. 2 of them you met in our last episode, Austin Lingo, the big headliner. We are looking forward to attending that show. Local MMA is a lot of fun. Any thoughts, vibes, feels about Fury FC being here in Dallas?
Well, I'm just, I said it on the episode. I'm just glad for these local promotions coming in. Fury's done a good job on building up the stars of tomorrow for the UFC or any of these big promotions, and I'm glad that they're, they come here a couple times a year.
Yep.
To Dallas. Normally they're in the Houston or South Texas area. So, no, I'm excited. It's good to see Austin, come out, be main event in his backyard.
Lights out.
Lights out. So, no, it's a good card.
I will say this as a MMA fangirl. You can call me that. The last Fury fight I went to, I saw a brilliant knockout, and the guy, what's his name, Jacoby Smith, is now going to be on Contender Series at the end of the summer. So you never know what you're going to see, what stars are going to be born in those moments. And now I can say I was at the fight that sent Jacoby Smith to the UFC.
No, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, no, he's a walking highlight reel. And but I always say go support your local fights, go support your local music, local anything, because you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah, you never know. You're going to see the stars of tomorrow, and it'll sneak up on you. All right, so moving on from MMA, the other big sport of the summer, of course, is baseball. Trade deadline is taking place tomorrow, and the Texas Rangers have already made a couple moves. So, Charlie Van, how are we feeling about this Rangers front office and the moving and shaking going into the back half of the season?
Well, we most likely lost John Gray for a month due to a groin injury. But we traded Michael Lorenzen to Royals. And some of the moves we're making are necessary. I would love to see a bat, though. Get a good DH coming in here as well. I think we're building up more of the relieving side, right? But I would either do a big bat or one pitcher that can come in here with John Gray out.
Yeah, I feel like we've signed. So we traded for a pitcher and a catcher at this point, which I'm okay with.
Especially how Jonas sometimes he can have his injuries and.
And then you want to talk about big bats. Josh Young cleared from the IL as of today.
Coming back.
We're
That's
still
huge.
Expecting Evan Carter back and, a couple other guys. I'm okay with it, but what is really exciting to me is how well we've been playing in these last 2 weeks. I believe we've only lost 1 game or 2 games in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, no, we just got swept by Toronto.
Oh,
I know. We were on a tear. We were on a roll. We swept White Sox and then got swept by Toronto, which is tough. Of course, yesterday, John Gray, going out with that groin injury right away. So some things haven't gone our way, but I think making these moves, Josh coming back, DeGrom coming back is huge. So if we can, this division I still think is ours to win or at least wild card. We were 2 games back before the Toronto series, so we gotta research.
All right. Is there any other sports news you want to cover?
Well, we're in training camp now. Cowboys training camp.
Oh, Sam Williams, R.I.P. to his ACL.
Yeah, ACL injury. Sucks to see right before not even getting to go to preseason.
Okay, but statistically, these things happen.
No, they do. They've happened all the time. We lost Tank in training camp.
Yes, we did. And I told you the same thing back then. I said, well, statistically, this shit's going to happen.
It's the most crazy stat. It's terrible. But, still CD isn't paid yet. Micah, no new contract either.
Dak
by the way, happy birthday, Dak.
Oh, he had a birthday.
Yeah, 31.
I always forget that Dak's a Leo.
He had his daughter MJ there.
Oh.
So still a lot of contracts, but we've seen how this show goes. Usually right before camp, everyone gets paid.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they can at least figure out CD in the near future and then focus on Micah. I know Tua took a very friendly deal in Miami, and I feel like maybe they're going to try to coax Dak in that direction since he did get the big payday coming off that broken ankle. It's not the most fair thing in the world. Dak Prescott, statistically a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to have your checks and balances. And I know Dak Prescott would rather have his weapons, his solid teammates here than to take all the big money.
Well,
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, free up. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you know, his agent Todd France I always called him, you know, Jerry Maguire, show me the money, but he did give him the money. You know, now it's about doing kind of what Brady would do, you know, and building around you. Maybe you could go out and go get another running back. Build up on that line.
Yeah,
we're already now seeing injuries, so why not free up some space? Re-sign Gilmore.
So what do you think about this trend that we're seeing with these big-time athletes taking smaller contracts to bring in that help? I mean, you mentioned Tom Brady, but in recent times we're looking at Tua, the Jalen Brunson contract, Shohei Ohtani's contract. You know, there are a lot of guys that are like, okay, I could make a shit ton of money right now in this moment, or I can win a championship. Is that something we're going to see more of? You think?
I think with being smart and just taking notes, like, okay, yes, I can get the big money, but how about be a champion? Like, because there's a lot of guys that get paid. They have money, but they don't have a ring and they don't have a gold coat at the end of their career. So I think it's just like, if you can afford your legacy, that's what it is. Now, do I fault any of the guys for the big contract? No, get paid.
Okay,
but
so
you have to be smart about it.
Where do you fall on the spectrum? If you were a professional athlete of any type and you were given the option for your Supermax or a good deal with the potential of bringing in someone on your level or higher, what would you do?
Whoever's going to get me a championship. And the reason why, if you watch how many people get big paydays, a lot of them end up injured. Things don't play out.
Yeah. See Mike Trout.
Yeah. But I'd rather get my title. I'd rather be smart, you know. And look, it's still good money competitively.
I guess, but
you would max out.
As an athlete, and this is maybe because I blew out my knee doing sports. This is why I think this way. I commend those guys that are willing to take the pay cut. I love the guys who are taking the hometown discount. I love my Dirk Nowitzki personalities. But if I'm an athlete and I am literally making money off my body and I know my career longevity is X years and that is all I got to maximize it. Championship or not. I'm talking about generational wealth here.
Now, I will say, taking that cut, especially football, protect your body more, and especially in that quarterback position. But I think
guys, is Charlie arguing with me?
Yeah, subtly. But I want the ring, man. I want the ring. I want the legacy. I want people to know, like, he did something.
Well, you can go fight for your ring, and I will go live on my private island. Moving on. All right, one last thing to get into, a little bit of pop culture action. Yeah. Season 6, I believe, of Too Hot to Handle has dropped in the last couple weeks since we've last recorded. How many episodes have you watched so far?
I've only watched one.
Okay.
I'm behind.
So I am fully caught up, so I have to watch my mouth here. What do you think so far?
That Charlie guy from UK, he's devious.
Okay. No. Honestly, I have the same. So when I'm watching the show and Charlie's on TV, I'm like, oh, Charlie. Like, I'm thinking about you, not that Charlie. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, he's devious. I mean, I'll be honest, first time ever watching Too Hot to Handle, so I'm a little new. I mean, I've heard of the concept, but new to watching. But man, it's steamy already.
Yeah, so what do you think about the concept of them, like, losing money when they're engaging in certain activities?
I mean, losing money will get you to stop doing something. For some people, it won't. They'll go broke.
And so what you're seeing in this first run, you have met Bad Lana.
Yes.
So Lana, for those of you who don't know and don't watch the show, Lana is this like Alexa, Google Home looking device that controls what happens in the house.
Yeah.
And she's the one that sets and enforces the rules of Too Hot to Handle. And it's a retreat to help people who are overly... You can give this to me. It's okay. Thank you. So she sets the rules of the retreat, and if you break them, she fines you money. So this season, the cast is given $250K to start, which is the highest across all seasons. Usually it's like $100K, $150K, but $250 is quite a jump from what they're used to giving.
So you get fined now.
You always get fined. The whole point is that you're supposed to discover interpersonal relationships without the physicality.
Yeah, I mean, losing 100K alone that's tough. That's tough.
So like making out is about $6K.
Dang.
Yeah.
So yeah, worth it.
That's what they say on the show. But
so pretty much you just like gotta be the like purest of hearts.
You have to have the purest of intentions.
Wasn't Harry on this show?
Harry started his Netflix reality TV star career on this show.
This makes sense. How much money did he lose?
A lot. And he was with Francesca at the time.
Well, Charlie already lost because he's making out with everybody.
He literally made out with 3 girls in the first day.
Yeah, they literally said hi to each other, and they already. I mean, he's doing better in that department.
Well, your homework is to watch the rest because I don't want to spoil it for you or for the rest of our audience. But let me just say, Bad Lana is the twist I didn't know I needed. We have never had a Bad Lana before, and the way that she dangles that temptation in front of them is quite life-changing when it comes to this show. So I highly recommend check this out. You never know, you might see them on Perfect Match in the future or any of the other Netflix crazy shows.
They have had somebody on The Circle.
Love is Blind.
Yeah.
I could totally see that crossover happening. But yeah. And then you saw Deadpool Wolverine. I haven't seen it yet. So give me a score on a scale of 1 to 10 of how it was.
I'll give it an 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
So you're telling me I better go see this dang movie?
Yeah, I mean, what I love about all the Deadpools is they don't break away or tamper with their approach. But the reason why I give it an 8, I can't say because I don't want to spoil anything.
Absolutely.
So if you really want to see this movie, avoid a lot of threads.
I've done so good. I've done so good avoiding spoilers.
But you'll see why I gave it an 8. I also saw Twisters recently too.
Oh, how was that? I love one. Glenn Powell is my like crush right now.
I give it about a 6.5 to 7.
Okay.
Well, I mean for me, because like I saw the original, grew up with the original. This was fun. Twister
was one of my favorite movies right now.
They made it its own movie, but yeah, if you go from watching that Twister to this Twister, I mean they're pretty much 2 separate movies. But the number one is like so classic to me. But
okay, well, can I talk about Glenn Powell for a minute because he is just everything right now.
Everywhere.
Have you seen the movie Hitman yet?
I love Hitman.
Hitman was good.
Did not know that was inspired by true events.
That was a sneaky good movie. So the first time I saw a Glenn Powell movie was the movie Set It Up on Netflix. It was a chick flick. And I was like, oh, this guy's kind of cute. Then I saw him in Top Gun, and I was like, oh, this guy's really cute.
Here's some trivia. What comic book movie, DC, did he have a cameo in?
I have no idea. I'm shook. I didn't know.
Dark Knight Rises.
Really?
With Bane. Bane beats him up in the stock exchange there. That was one of his earlier movies.
Okay, now I have an excuse to watch that movie
Also,
again.
Fort Worth native and is going back to UT to finish. Also brings his dog to premieres.
I know!
Yeah.
And he's been doing all the TikTok dances.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm really obsessed with him. One last note before we get off here. Big announcement took place at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. How are we feeling about it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes! The return of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom in the next Avengers movie coming out in 2026.
Yeah, I like how they revealed him in a Dr. Doom cosplay. I like it. I mean, it's interesting. Like, I feel like Marvel's one of those where you can just bounce around. different character. I mean, he's a perfect Victor Doom. If he was not Tony Stark, Victor Doom, for sure. Victor's kind of like an evil playboy, kind of scientist. I could see that.
Okay, but let me say this. With the performance of recent Marvel movies in the box office and the Russo brothers reuniting, now you're bringing back Robert Downey Jr., does this smell a little desperate to you?
Not necessarily. We'll see how A Brave New World Captain America goes. But no, I mean, I think Marvel's always tried to pull out some of the tricks. Sure, some of the movies have done bad, not comparatively to how Warner Brothers and DC, but I mean, you just left out of the Avengers huge box office, but they always have an ace up their sleeve. It's got to be the right story, right time, and I think this is in right cast, and I think they're doing it well.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Marvel franchise has in store for us over the next couple of years. Looking forward to seeing the rest of these Olympics, representing my girls on U.S. women's soccer. Charlie, any last second notes before we get out of here?
Hey, come on by down here to Alamo Club to watch your sports. Come enjoy some brunch, cocktail Wednesday night again, trivia. Come support our show.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Have a great night. We will see you next week.